Yo, what's up? So we are in teaser season, baby. Personally, I love teaser season because it's kind of a good ramp up to PoE. But if you didn't know, they've been releasing some Twitter videos, YouTube videos about just quality of life things and little hints of some nerfs that they have in here. And while I was recording this, I actually just released another teaser and things are getting spicy. Some people are going to be upset, some people are going to be happy. I am always open to change, but let's talk about what's going on with me real quick. I only have 10 videos on this channel as of recording right now. I plan on making a lot of content in this league, and I also plan on live streaming pretty much every single thing, and I primarily play hardcore trades. So if you want to see that and all the dumb stuff I do over the next couple days of testing PoE builds or looking through passive building and kind of trying to come up with my league starters and stuff like that, then I'll be doing that over the next couple weeks leading into the league. So if you want to see that, Twitch is below. Otherwise, let's get to the rest of the shit. So the teaser's dropped, and we'll talk about the teaser, and then we'll talk about maybe some implications of what does this actually mean, right? Besides the teaser, let's talk about what does this potentially change in the game. Also, I'm going to add in a little bit of history, maybe why they added some of these changes, because maybe some people see these changes, they don't really care, or if you're not like an idiot like me and you can ignore drama completely, you probably don't even know why they're making the betrayal changes. So let's start with the, in my opinion, nicest change that a lot of people will be able to benefit from. And of course, that's going to be the currency swapping, right? Where you just hold a button, you can move all of your chaos orbs into the other person's inventory or vice versa, back and forth. And this is just going to make trading, 1,000 alterations, 1,000 fusings, things like that. Just one click, boom, speed the trade up, in and out. Holy shit, this is awesome. I fucking love this. Like, this is so simple. It's one of those like, why didn't we have this beforehand? But I'm glad it's here. I'm not going to be that person. It's just like, I'm glad it's here. I look forward to, hating trade a little bit less. Now, the other one is actually going to be a complete deletion of a third-party program I use. And it's going to be the auto fusing / auto 6-socket thing where you just hold the button down now and it'll just cycle through your fusings and your jeweler orbs until it's 6 sockets or 6 links the item. Now, this is a mini rant, you could say. Now, let's talk about the third-party program I'm referencing, and let's talk about a couple others. So I play a lot of games right now. Hey, Elden Ring, I simp for it. It's basically it's my favorite game of all time, but I also play League of Legends. I play Apex Legends. I play Diablo 4. I've been playing Last Epoch. I play a lot of games. No game has as many third-party programs I use than PoE. Now, are all of these mandatory? No, but also it's like, well, if you play hardcore and you're trying to do certain things, then at some point they are. So let's just go through a couple real quick. First of all, the most important one is probably path of building, right? It's the life source of our build creation and how you can just open a build, see everything, and go. Next is Awaken PoE Trade for, hot checking prices of certain items. Maybe you don't play the game for a long time. What is this? Let me check this. Boom, it's worth 10C, real quick, easy out. It also has some hotkeys that you can use. So, it's a price checker. For a hardcore player for myself, this is my logout macro, this is my hideout, my invite people, my response to people. And then we have X mouse button control, which I will be deleting and never using again thanks to these quality of life changes. So getting rid of one of these is just such a nice thing. And I can confidently say I'm never going to use this again. So if you didn't know, basically you would open this. I have it set to only use, PoE, and it would make it so my wheel up and wheel down was my left click. And this is how you would, scan inventory items into someone else's trade. And this is the fastest way to do it. And this is also how we would 6-link items. You would also get kicked out of the game if you did it too fast, and that was really annoying. So I no longer have to use this, right? Thank God I can just fucking delete it and never use it again. That was definitely my least favorite program to use because you didn't want it on all the time, and it's gone. Thank God. Thank you, GGG. I didn't want to use this anymore. Next big change is the controversial one, and it's the Masters. Now, I'll go into the history of exactly why they're making this change. If you've, not been paying attention, good for you. It's probably good for your mental health. But the Masters change is that they're essentially moving the quality from armors and weapons off of Betrayal. They're removing the quality of flasks off of Betrayal as well. So that's now going to be turned into a Vol Orb. So your Vol Orb will be able to make quality on flask go either up 10, down 10. It's RNG. Personally, obviously, I, played hardcore and I didn't really love Betrayal, so I never really did it. But now, maybe I put flasks on my filter, right? The big one, though, is the Katarina change. Everybody wants to use Aceling, and to summarize it really quick, Aceling has a mod where she, in, Betrayal at tier 4, she'll remove a mod and then add an unveiled mod. And obviously, if you use prefixes cannot be changed, you multi-mod block, you can essentially force, a 1 in 3 where you get a really powerful modifier on a weapon or a chest piece, right? And this is how you make, GG items and crazy cool shit. But you have to do betrayal, and you have to get Aisling into her correct spot, and then you got to kill it, and then you got to, do it. And that was a lot, right? Personally, I just never did it. So they moved that whole process to just kill Katarina, she'll drop a Veiled Chaos Orb. Veiled Chaos Orbs now just do what Aisling did before. So Aisling is now a Veiled Chaos Orb, which opens that access of crafting to just a lot more people. However, it also means Veiled Chaos Orbs only will come from Katarina now, and we don't know the drop rate, right? So some good, some bad. Some people are obviously upset because you could do some cool techs with normal Veiled Chaos Orbs of crafting certain pieces of gear. But I think overall, this was a mandatory and needed change that it just kind of had to happen. And if you don't know why, I'm going to try to summarize this quick because it's still a lot of bullshit that a lot of people don't care about, but you should probably be informed about why this is happening. So here it is. About a month into the league or so, some TFT stuff dropped. And if you don't know what TFT is, it's basically just a Discord where a lot of people trade. And let's be real, a lot of RMT happens behind the scenes. Their creator of TFT was fairly known to be very, very kind of a bitch. Like, I'm not going to mince my words. I am who I am. I'm not going to hide anything. He was kind of a bitch. A lot of the stuff he said, the way he acted, he would just ban people. Obviously, local identity is probably one of the most important people for the third-party app community. And he's made so many things that are just so important that it was ridiculous. He got banned, and that blew up into people obviously saying, holy fuck, this is ridiculous. Why are we using third-party websites to do Katarina, buy betrayal, buy all these things? Some people lie, right? People would scam. You'd put in a really expensive item and they'd be like, okay, now I'm cashing out, they steal your item. And it was one of those things where it's like, it was such a powerful crafting use, right? With Aisling and quality on armors and stuff. 6-socket white, Varici, things like that, that may or may not have gotten changed, but they had to change it at some point. So the reason they're changing this is because the TFT stuff kind of just blew up. It got really ugly, and I mean, it just got bad. So they had to make a change. I'm glad they made a change. I'm just kind of annoyed that it took this long to happen. I'm glad it's happened. It obviously opens access for somebody like me who didn't love betrayal. Now, if I want to, Veiled Chaos Orb, I can just go force Katarina and we just spam her. But kind of annoying that this drama and hate and so much stuff had to happen behind the scenes for it to happen. But at least I'm glad it happened. Now on to the more interesting part of this. Despite all that crap, the flask got changed, and it's in the teaser when he's corrupting flasks, and obviously they did this on purpose. GGG, I see what you're up to, a little sneaky, huh? But basically, there's a lot of people who did a lot of math on this change. And shout out to these guys down here, the goats in Reddit that actually do the math and stuff. They summarized it better than I could, and they showed the proof of the numbers. I am not that smart. So, hey, credit to big arms, big gut, right? These people like this, where basically flasks got nerfed, but they also were buffed. As usual, it's fucking complicated, so let me summarize it. If you're a Pathfinder, these flasks give you 5 max res. This is how it used to work. This means that a Pathfinder's starting resistances and stuff will be better than last league, because last league it was less damage taken. However, when we go onto the higher scale, like Progenesis territory, Mageblood territory, things like that, it's going to be worse. If you were getting 90 max res, then these flasks are worse because you can no longer use them and take even less damage, right? Like a more multiplier on a more multiplier. So obviously this is like a high-end nerf, but a low-end buff. In the middle, it's kind of a wash. If you're not a Pathfinder, it's probably a buff. If you are a Pathfinder, it's probably whatever. However, now we actually have some interesting melding stuff that can happen now. Melding, if you didn't know, basically you cap your res, caps your other res 90%, but it has a huge penalty. It was nerfed because everybody was, using it and everything like that. But now with the flasks going back to where they were, now maybe melding stuff's involved. Pathfinder, obviously Transcendence, but we're getting into nerd shit now. But basically low end, buffed, mid, it's kind of whatever. And then on the high end, it's a nerf. The reason why this change is probably happening is because we just had so many Pathfinders last league. It was definitely the best overall Magic Find character. And then Progenesis, and everybody was kind of getting these, fizz conversion 100%, taking, almost no damage kind of setups. And this is a nerf that was probably ready to happen. Now, personally, I don't really care. The game changes and I just change with it. The next couple changes are all pretty quick, actually. We got the breach one. If you run over the hand, then it will just open. Obviously, this is a big deal. I don't know if you ever farmed breach recently. Running through, 50 mobs, you have to have phasing, and then obviously you have to click on the hand, and sometimes there's mobs standing on top of it, and it was a pain in the ass. I tried it a couple of times. It was just really annoying. And the hands, unfortunately, are kind of the where like a lot of splinters come from. So if you missed a hand or you couldn't click on it, it was frustrating. So now being able to just zoom, shield charge, you know, hit it, get them all open, and then kill the mobs, definitely is a nice change. But obviously Breach probably still needs a little bit of a buff. But you know, hey, this is obviously a step in the right direction for now. Alongside the master change, they added the ability to have more than one master in your map. Obviously for Atlas implication, now you can farm Betrayal and, you know, Alva at the same time, or Einhar and Alva, you know, any of the 4 major masters, and, you know, multi-farm them. So that's pretty cool. Instead of, you know, just picking one, now we can kind of pick a variety of a couple. Or, you know, maybe you can just full Rambo for like all 3. Unfortunately, Delve, I don't know. You got the Delve lovers out there. I think most people agree though that Delve is kind of in a bad spot right now because Harvest was added to the game. So, you know, Delve's still kind of on the outside looking in, but at least the other 3 masters now can live in harmony rather than having to just pick one. So that's pretty cool. You can do some Atlas tree stuff with that. Another nice change is the Pantheon one. They showed this obviously as the first teaser they released, and basically when you unlock the, you know, the freeze stuff or the reduced damage taken stuff on these Pantheons, the lesser ones will just be permanent. So you do it once throughout the league. If you make a lot of alts like me, you know, either you're an altaholic or you just die a shit ton, both are true for me. This is really a nice change because I don't have to, you know, go look for my T11 map that has the Brine King on it so I can go fucking unlock some shit. It's just do it once, it's done forever. Sick. I am curious if they're going to make Divine Vessels a little bit more rare because of this or not, but you know, still a good quality of life change, but I'm worried about the drop rate for them. And saving the most controversial one for last. This one actually just happened right when I was recording this, and it's the map change. And long story short, Magic Find was a big deal, and one of the best ways to juice maps is to use un-ID'd maps. So you have 8 mod corrupted maps, and you have like the un-D maps, and you can kind of pick one. Some people like 8 mod, some people like the corrupted un-ID'd, and there was a sextant that was un-ID'd maps would give you, you know, more pack size, and you could get a lot. Un-ID'd maps give you a huge bonus to rarity and quantity, and I think pack size, but I'm not sure about that anymore, but who cares, it's gone anyway. And obviously the sextant was huge because you'd add even more pack size on top of a really good juice map. And now that combination's dead because they added, you know, item pack size, vol skills being permanent, you know, item quantity, and then probably other stuff that they're hiding in it too. And this is interesting because they didn't mention that they changed any of the other outcomes where, you know, either nothing happens, it turns it into 8 mod, or it re-rolls it into a upgraded map. So this is definitely a change. I'm not exactly sure what the motivation for this was, other than we just had the biggest Magic Find league ever, and the un-ID'd strat was probably one of the most popular ones. But definitely people are going to be upset about this because people like their Magic Find, and when you fuck with their Magic Find, people get upset. Personally, I'm fine with it. Like I said, I'm okay with change. Like, it's cool. They added some other outcomes, like you can do, you know, a permanent Vol build where you do like Vol Spark. Little side note here for your history lesson, Vol Spark was probably, like, in some people's mind, the worst meta, but also the best meta at the same time. This is a long time ago. It's actually the meta that I think Ziz popped off the biggest in, is because Vol Spark went crazy, and he was like the premier poster boy of Vol Spark and doing level 100 races. So it's kind of cool that they're showing Vol Spark here. It's kind of like a shout out to the past. I think the big one though is the Atlas increased effect. That can be pretty crazy. I'd have to really, like, obviously sit here and really try to like do some numbers, but that Atlas effect being 10% is interesting. You can do some stuff with that off the top of my head that would be pretty nice, but obviously if they added a lot of outcomes, is it like what, a 1 in 6, 1 in 7? So we'll have to see. Change is good. This one's going to be a drastic one, and a lot of people are upset. But that's it for the teaser so far. You know, you got a little bit of history, a little bit of drama, and that's it for me. Probably be pumping out a beta information video that summarizes the last 2 months of beta info and just kind of condensing it into a 10-minute video. So that'll be next if you are too lazy to watch 6 hours of interviews. Well, hopefully you're as excited about it as I am. Obviously I'm getting a little excited, getting pumped, getting the PoE juices in my brain, but I'll catch you guys later.